For the past month, I've been living and working in Da Nang, Vietnam as a digital nomad. Da Nang is such an underrated city, and so come with me as I take you through a day in the life as a digital nomad living and working in Da Nang, Vietnam. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Michael Lee Kim, and I'm a personal finance coach, CPA, and TEDx speaker, helping working young professionals learn to use money to create a life they actually love. And so because most of my clients are from Canada and the US, I usually have to work off the Eastern time zone, which means most of my coaching calls end up being really early in the morning. So let's head out to a nearby cafe to get some work done. I decided to go to Gyu Cafe, which is about a 10-minute walk away from my place, and their crispy pork banh mi's are to die for. After doing some work and a few coaching calls, I met up with one of my friends for coffee. Helena is such a sweet girl, and as a solo traveler, it's so nice to have a friend in this strange land. After talking for a few hours, we both went our separate ways, and I went back home to drop off my stuff to get ready for the beach. On the way to the beach though, I decided to grab some lunch at my favorite restaurant. I literally have been coming here every single day, and the staff all know my order. It's some of the most delicious Vietnamese food that I've ever tasted, and it is so cheap. I'm living in the My An neighborhood, which is kind of a quieter neighborhood than where all of the digital nomads and expats live. But my favorite part of My An is that it's so peaceful and quiet. I'm about a 15-minute walk away from the beach, and during the day, the beach is empty. There's usually like max 10 to 20 people at the beach, and it's one of the most beautiful beaches. There's white sand, mountains in the background, and there's just enough waves to keep things interesting. And if you look closely, you can see the big Lady Buddha in the distance. And I actually haven't been there yet, so let's take an adventure there. I went home to shower and change and ordered a grab bike. Riding on the back of a motorcycle might seem really scary at first, and I was definitely really scared too, but this is so common here in Vietnam, and eventually you just gotta do what the locals do. It's super affordable and a lot more convenient and faster than riding in a car. Keep in mind though, Da Nang is a pretty big city and the traffic in Vietnam is horrible. There are like no road rules, and each time you cross the street, you're pretty much just risking your life. So I definitely wouldn't recommend renting a motorbike and trying to drive here on your own, and I would just instead hire a professional person from the Grab app. We passed by the famous Dragon Bridge, which we will come back later in the evening because there is a very special event happening here. The Big Lady Buddha is located in the Son Tran Peninsula, which is surrounded by beautiful mountains, oceans, and forest. It is truly one of the most beautiful spots in all of Vietnam. There are also a ton of Buddhist temples that you can visit all in the same area. After walking around for a few hours, I decided to take a grab bike back to the city to chill at my favorite cafe. It's called Nom Cafe, and I randomly found it by walking around aimlessly. It's a local spot located in some random alley, and it has some of the most delicious Vietnamese coffee I've ever had. A few hours passed by, and it was time to meet up with my friends at the nearby night market. The Son Tran night market is a must-see in Da Nang, with so many different food stalls and street food. A few days ago when I was eating lunch, I randomly started talking to this couple from Hong Kong, and we became friends. So we decided to meet up at the night market to grab dinner. And finally, at 9 p.m., it was time for the main event. Every Friday to Sunday at 9 o'clock p.m. sharp, the Dragon Bridge lights up and starts breathing fire and water. This was my first time seeing it, and it was a sight to see. Da Nang is one of my favorite cities in Vietnam because it isn't as busy as Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi, and it also has beautiful nature. And so if you like being near a city, but you also still want to have access to like beaches and mountains, Da Nang is the place for you. But as some of you guys might know, I am not a city person, and so I would actually prefer somewhere quieter and somewhere with less traffic. And so that's the reason why in the next few months, I'll actually be spending a month in Hoi An. I went to visit Hoi An for just a few days, and I completely fell in love with it, where I was like, I have to come back here and live. And so if you want to see what life is like in the small, little, but beautiful town, then make sure to subscribe so you're notified when I release a new video.